y'all? It is your favorite dynamic duo, aka the broke and the hungry girls,
aka caramel and chocolate. Okay, so today guys, we are bringing you a new segment, hashtag Storytime.
So as you already know from the title, by the title, okay?
Yeah.
This is about the time that we were lured in
By a predator.
by a tiger.
Once upon a time, Kira, I, sitting at Yorkdale Shopping Center, minding my business, headphones in, phone out, scrolling. And what happens? This rather short Caucasian man, I really about this tall.
Yeah, he was like a couple of inches taller than you.
Yes, about 5'3". I'm 5 feet.
Yeah.
So he was about 5'3", walks over to me and he's like, "Oh my god, you're so beautiful. Like, I really love your hair." All these things, you know.
The poof was out. The poof was out.
Poof was out. You know, it was flourishing, real shiny. But yeah, so he came over and he's like, "You know, I work with some big companies downtown Toronto. I represent a lot of modeling agencies, all this jazz." Okay, and I'm thinking like, okay, well, shoot, you know, your girl could always use some more money. So he's going on and on. He's, you know, we're having this casual conversation of him telling me how he's a hairstylist and he works with a lot of different models and modeling agencies. So I'm like, okay, like, this is cool. What do you want from me? And he's like, okay, so I want you to like apply. I want you to send pictures. I want you to fill out all these applications. And I was like, okay, well, I also know somebody who would fit this criteria that's already the model type, tall, slim, very chocolate. And I feel like she would be a great asset as well. And you know, who wants to do these things by themselves?
That part.
I mean, obviously I'm a snake, but
You really are.
we'll get there. We will get to how I snaked her. Okay? It was not intentional though. It's all love. So yeah, you know, he walks away from me. I give Jacinta a phone call. I let her know what it is, to wait out for this phone call from this guy. He's gonna contact her with all the details on what she needs to do. I'm gonna go ahead and start the process first, and then she can follow suit.
So then, yeah, after that, he contacted me and pretty much gave me like the same rundown. It was just like, hey, this is what we're doing. I'm working with all these agencies, whatever. I heard that you're tall. Like, talk to me about yourself. So I'm talking to him or whatever. And he's just like, okay, so from there, basically what I want you to do, you're going to go to all these websites. You're going to fill out the online applications. And, you know, we're both like the type of people where we like to do our research on things. We're not just gonna be like, okay, I'm just gonna send them pictures and send them my information and that's that. No, we made sure to like really like fully look into everything to be like, hey, are these legitimate agencies or are these just like frauds?
And they were legit.
They're like 150% legit agencies. They still contact me to this day. And then he started selling that dollar and that dream, boy, let us tell you, okay? We honestly just ka-ching.
Yes,
Dollar signs. Even then, both of us, like when we were talking about it after, we're like, yo, honestly, this summer's gonna be lit. We're gonna have so much money. We're gonna travel. Yo,
glam,
yeah, we're like,
glitz.
we're like Carabana. Yo, we're doing ultra frontline.
Girl, listen, okay.
Yo, individuals, forget it. We're just gonna give you know, a mass man or section money, and they're just gonna make us costumes because
we got it like that.
Yeah, listen, we were really out here like, oh, forget it. We're not even, who needs Carabana? We're just gonna go to crop over last minute. Listen, we were just talking out our yin yangs, basically. Like, we really just skyrocketed off with this dream that he was selling us.
One thing you guys need to know about Mr. Tony the man, Tony the predator,
Tony the tiger, baby.
Something y'all need to know about this individual is he was very clean and very well put together. He did not give off that vibe of somebody who may be a con man. You know, he's disgusting, he's dirty. Like, no, he was very clean, very well put together.
He gave you that
well dressed,
that white collar criminal look.
And the thing about Tony is, on top of all the modeling agencies and on top of all the hairstylists and everything else that he's doing, Mr. Tony said that he works with the oldest, most classiest burlesque club
in C-Dot.
Now, For those of you who do not know what burlesque is, it is very classy, it's very artsy, it's very sexy, not raunchy. It is just, it's beautiful.
It's class, it's art.
It is class. It really is. It's art. It is art.
It's like the movie Burlesque with Cher and Christina Aguilera.
Just for those of you who are a little difficult and won't go watch the movie and won't take the time to even Google the word itself, we're just going to go ahead and give a little description of it on the screen. Somewhere
over there, you'll have a nice description of what burlesque is.
Or at least how it's classified in the big old book of Webster. Okay, so now that we have a nice clear understanding of what burlesque is, let's keep going down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, so he started like explaining to us, he's like, yeah, so I work with like, the way he was very just manipulative with his words and conniving with his words in like the sense of like selling it to us in the right way. So we're like, okay, this sounds really good. So he's just like, basically he was like, yeah, so I work with the oldest burlesque club. He's like, it's very sexy, very elegant. From the way that you ladies are speaking to me, it sounds like this would be great for you. You seem like very elegant women, and this is elegant. It's not full nudity. It's he's like, it's very tasteful was the words he used.
He literally did say it's tasteful.
Very tasteful. He said it's very tasteful. He's like, we do bachelor parties, sometimes banquet halls, whatever. They get rented out for you for like parties, whatever. And we're like, okay, this is good. And he's like, and not to mention the money is really good. When I tell you this man said you could make $1,400 in a night
individually.
The man really was just like, yeah, you guys can make really good money, and like, you could really go somewhere as long as like, he's like, you just have to be flirtatious with like your body and the way you're like the crowd, you're interacting with the crowd, but you don't have to say anything, just your
dance,
movement.
just make it.
So us being us, we were like, okay, girl, you know what this means? We're going to do some choreography. We're about to be getting fit. Like, we're going to be out here taking, like, pole classes, but we're not needing to do the pole. Like, we're going to do, like, floor routines with chairs
and spinning, canes going, hats on.
Like, them high top hats, little
corsets, bow ties,
and
like the little booty shorts,
the long tail coat.
Like, listen,
we were really.
I saw fishnets.
Yes, we were like, hey, should we start looking up music? Like, what type of dance moves are we gonna do?
The Weeknd earned it.
Yes, basically.
I was really. You make it look like it's magic. Okay.
Like, we were ready. Like, girl, this is it. This is it. We're gonna be doing something like so cool, and it's also gonna help us stay fit, stay healthy.
Yes.
And then it just went left. No,
this is not it.
Not at all.
Life said, joke's on you. This is a scam. Scam day. One day, Tony hits me up about 2 weeks after we had done the initial applications and
gotten our contracts,
gotten contacted from the agencies, not from Tony, from the agencies. So we're thinking like, okay, the agencies are legit, so it must just all be legit. Boy, bye. What had happened was Tony hits me up and he's like, okay, I'm ready to take you guys to the burlesque club. I feel like it's time. I want to show you exactly everything that it's about to see if it's time for you guys to go ahead and get on the schedule. Maybe start with 1 day a week and then progress to multiple days. So I'm like, okay, well, we both work, so it's got to be like a Friday, Saturday kind of thing. He's like, okay, that's cool. We can go on a Friday. I'll meet you at your Dale and we can all go over together. So we're like, okay. Like let's get to it. So I go to Yorkdale first, and we decided to meet on a Friday after work hours. So we got to Yorkdale at like what 6:30?
About 6. Yeah.
6:30. So we there. Well, I'm there first, and then just ain't pulls up and it's, hey girl, what's up? Hey, time to make that money. Okay, so we giddy, we ready to go. Tony strutting over.
Yes. Hola, Bella.
As me and Justine are sitting, I'm like, that is Tony. And she's like, that's Tony. Like,
It wasn't what I was picturing.
There was no way to ever expect that 5'3" Caucasian man. Okay. And then, so Tony pulls up and I'm like, hi Tony, this is just saying Tony, you know.
So he's like, oh my god, you're so beautiful, so exotic, and so tall. Oh my god, your skin, your hair, and I was like, okay girl, relax.
You're doing the most. Tony is like, okay, so yeah, let's go over to the club now. And we're like, okay. Think we about to all walk back to that subway. Tony's like, yeah.
So I'm parked over there.
And we're like, oh. You know, at this moment, both of us should have said, okay, so what's the address so I can meet you there?
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, we don't know you, stranger danger. And I don't really feel like getting in your car. But no, glitz and glam and glitz. Dollar and a dream and a dollar. So we're like, okay, we go. And Mr. Tony, he's talking to us in the parking lot. And we're both just like,
yeah. And then he starts talking about his car. And he's like, oh y'all, today I brought out the caddy. And I bring out the Jag. I just brought out the caddy. You know, it's a nice day, but I didn't want to bring out anything too fancy, so I just brought out the caddy. Listen, okay? We all know what type of people drive caddies.
Cues music. I don't know what you heard about me. Hey! But if you can't get it all out of me. Wait! Cause I'm a P.I. Okay. So now that we all know what Mr. Tony was skirting in, okay, right then and there, we should have still said we have time to meet you at the location if we really want to go.
Catch you on the flip side, my nigga.
But here we are, still waltzing towards that car, running through the parking lot.
And he's out here on some, I can't remember where I parked.
You know, this was just all signs. You know, like when you watching Dateline, all the cues, okay? All the red flags are just, bitches, get out of girl, run. What is you doing? Life was really like, what are you doing? How much more obvious do I got to be? Yeah. And we're just there like, girl, stop playing. Life, you don't know what you talking about. He fine. He regular.
Yeah, no. So then we got in the car. He started driving or whatever, and it was fine. Whatever.
It was still awkward.
It was awkward because he was talking and he was just making like a weird conversation. I was in the back and she was in the front, and we're literally texting each other, and we're just like, girl,
what is going on? What is he talking about?
Girl, and I was like, girl,
what did he just say? So as we're driving, I don't know why we both had this impression of we were going to be going downtown Toronto, because if this is such a classy, huge establishment, I just assumed it would have been in the downtown core. Area. I was really expecting to like CN Tower, Ripley's, 2 doors down, Burlesque Club. Okay, and we're thinking like, oh, maybe he knows like the back roads to downtown, because you know Dufferin is a long street.
Girl, this man was not taking no blood clot back road.
No.
How about we got to the place and we're like,
in all of 10 minutes.
Oh, so we get there and it's just like we're in the parking lot and the parking lot is mad small. Oh, okay. And we're like, whatever. It could have been like
sometimes things are beautiful on the inside, not the outside.
So then we're like, whatever. Okay, whatever. So then we get out of the car, and as soon as we get out of the car, how about they're like niggas just sitting there, or not even standing, sitting, staring at us on some like, yo, this is some fresh meat.
Man's looked at us how a lion sees a gazelle.
They looked at us like we were deadass just gonna be dinner. Like they're like, hey, so these girls are about to be in here all the time. Like,
I'm trying to get me some of that. And it was like, ooh, Mr. Man, stop undressing me with your eyes.
Yeah, it's very uncomfortable.
God knows why we left our belongings in the car. God knows.
We're idiots.
We still had this whole big fantasy of it is gonna be beautiful. We're gonna walk in, see all the little girls. Like, you know, I was expecting to see them little cute. Every girl in there wearing them little cute short bob wigs.
Like I was blonde wigs with the hats and the pearls and the diamonds.
I was expecting to see feathers going.
We were expecting a show, okay, and what we got, I don't even know what we got. That's how bad it was. So whatever, we pull up, we get there, we're like walking to the venue, we get to the front, we go in, and it's like down this hallway.
Dark.
Yeah,
damp
it was like a
hallway.
dark, weird hallway. So we're like, okay, whatever. And then Tony's like, oh yeah, hey, I'm just showing these girls around. I'm just showing them how, you know, like the place to see if we could get them on the schedule soon. And we're like, okay, girl, let me tell you, we walked past the admissions man into the facility.
It was literally the most run down strip club I've ever been in the GTA.
So we went from burlesque and elegance,
classy,
tasteful, high class burlesque club to a
brothel.
There.
No, dead ass.
It was dead ass.
It was just a brothel.
It would look like a brothel.
It was a stripper brothel. It was a strip club brothel.
Yeah.
So, you know, you get your show, you get your dancing,
and then in the back
you drop a few coins and you get you some, hey, you get that, hey, can I get that booty? Hey, that big old booty. But they even got no booties. So
we literally walked in and the both of us just went,
what is this?
And looks like kind of like everywhere, looked around and we're like, the chairs are disgusting.
Mixed match.
Yeah, and they just look
the
like
tables were disgusting. Chipping,
yeah.
like.
So then, you know, you sit down at a table, you just basically watch the show, and then the stage was literally like it was just like a square.
I'm telling you, this really looked like, now that I'm really thinking about it, I think it used to be a church.
Probably.
And they renovated.
Yeah, so then you have like the square, and then the square was right in front of a beam, and then there was like small stairs, like little steps to get onto the stage that was right beside the beam. So it's kind of like you could support yourself on the beam to get up onto the stage.
Yeah.
And basically he's like, so the way it works is you come in, you sit down, you can watch the show. Should you decide you would like to have like a little
private moment.
Yeah, a little private moment with one of the girls. Basically what you do is you just call on one of the bus boys. They then come over with a catalog. The catalog has the photographs of the women
that are working tonight.
Yeah, you flip through to find whichever woman is the one that
suits your needs. Yeah,
suits your needs, intrigues you, whatever. You say, I'll take her, you pay, and then the busboy will come and tell you, hey, you have a client or a customer at table 15. He wants you for 5 minutes or 15 minutes. You take him to the back.
15-minute intervals.
You take him to the back and then you get chips for what he pays. So basically what they do is like the establishment, rather than giving you money, they'll give you a chip, and at the end of the night you give in your chips to get money.
Get cash. Yeah.
So then whatever, we're like, okay.
I mean, like that avoids the women getting robbed, right?
Exactly. So we're like,
I understand.
Okay. Girl, listen. So as he's talking, they're there, right? So as we hear something like this, and we're just like,
it wasn't even this good.
We're like, okay, what is this? Oh no, it's an old school track. Anyways, and then you just see.
Hey. She didn't even dance this good, okay? She didn't even dance this good.
Listen, homegirl looked dead. She looked like a zombie. It was really
she wasn't even on that. She wasn't even on beat.
And the worst part, it was a black girl, so I really looked at her and I was like, sis,
what is you doing?
What is happening? What's going on?
You can't be living this life.
You cannot be going through this right now. She really looked like a zombie.
She was a zombie, a cracked out zombie.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
It does get worse. Why, Tony? Why did you do this?
There was no words. Like, literally for that entire experience, there were no words.
If you're wondering, well, why did you guys leave? We don't know. Maybe this girl is the warm-up. You know, she's the daytime worker. But this isn't really what the establishment is about, because he told me this is not what it's about. So
I said, people don't lie.
I don't know why Tony was really... I thought everything that came out of Tony's mouth was fact. Nothing but truth.
We really were like, his word is bond.
I don't know Tony from nowhere. What word? Imagine.
And then we went from classy and tasteful, elegance, and just...
We went from no drugs to only drugs. I feel like in order to work at this establishment, you needed to be on drugs.
For sure.
I feel like it was mandatory. They like, you know, when you start your first night, they're like, okay, so drug of choice, ma'am.
I'll take a shot of heroin with a side of crack. So then like at that point he was just like, hey, I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna give you the rest of the tour to show you the back part. And we kept walking, whatever. We go, I'm like, you have to go down like maybe like 2 steps. We like we get down the 2 steps, and then there's like a old rundown
Casting couch. It's a casting couch.
And then from there you take a left, and then on your right hand side, as you're walking down like this hallway, are the literally makeshift rooms that are supposed to be the champagne rooms, like the private rooms. And when a rod going from like one wall to the next wall, and then they just put curtains, like
little sections of curtain
on each, like to close each room. And the rooms were literally separated by like pieces of drywall. So it was like a piece of drywall, but it didn't even go all the way to the roof. No. Like it literally went like halfway. So like
you could really just be like, hey girl, is everything okay in there?
And then like in each in each room there was like little dirty couches and a little chair. So basically what you were supposed to do was, okay, listen. So basically,
how Tony explained it.
You bring in the client, you'll be like, hey, sweetie, okay, come on in, yeah, have a seat. And then, you're supposed to like talk to him to be like, oh, like, what do you want to do, whatever, how was your day? So you're supposed to have a conversation. And sometimes he's like, yeah, sometimes, you could be like, I've had a really long day.
Do I have my toes?
My feet are hurting. Yeah, it's really hard. And then you ask them to like rub your feet. First of all, no, don't touch me. No. And then he's like, and then sometimes you can like let them come up to you and be like, or you could go up to them and be like, oh, you seem really tense, sweetie.
I'm tense for a lot of reasons right now. Who's supposed to do all that?
Bitch! Who is prostituting themselves? That's what you're really trying to tell me like I'm soliciting a John. Like that's the way he was like putting it. Cause like, no, you're really telling me like, he's like, oh, you need to make sure you're being really nice to them, but you girls seem like you're friendly girls. You just want to be flirtatious. Also, and we're like, okay, well, what about security?
Yeah, because security is a big thing.
What about security?
I mean, like,
first of all, nobody was gonna work there, but like, what about security? I really don't know why
I'm more concerned about these women at this point.
Yeah, so we're like, what about security? My guy really said, oh well, there's the bus boys.
Mind you, the bus boys were all of 5'6" and 120 pounds.
You really, it looked like I could go like that to them, and they'd be like, who is that stopping? Literally, he brought us back to like we're by the stage, and he left us there for like 10 minutes.
To go handle some business.
Like, he had to go handle some business. He's like, okay, I want to be right back, sweetie. So I'm just gonna be right back. I'm gonna let you talk amongst yourselves, and then if you guys are ready, we can put you on the schedule. Who are you putting on the schedule?
We ain't got nothing to talk about. We know exactly what we gonna do and what we not gonna do. And what we not gonna do is this.
And what we gonna do is get on up out of here. Okay.
Joke though, because we didn't.
We really didn't.
No, we still stood there. Yeah. We tried to talk about it. I don't think so. Yeah. I do not think so. But we were like, okay, so no.
Yeah.
No. This, are you no, you're not comfortable. I'm not feeling this. I don't think we need to. Okay, so we're just gonna like tell him we'll contact him. And then yeah, about 10 minutes later, Mr. Tony strutting back. He's like, so how do you guys feel about everything? And we're like, oh, I think we still need to discuss it a little more.
Yeah,
and he's like,
go on the schedule?
Yeah, he's like, are you ready to go on the schedule?
Stop.
Nigga, why you rushing me?
Oh, why you
said I would contact you if I'm ready, when I'm ready, which is never. I'm gonna contact you,
which is never.
Like, your number's been blocked already. Okay. So yeah, so this is where I guess we was just in the belly of the beast and it can't get no worse, so we're just gonna keep going with it to see what happens. So Mr. Tony is like,
what are you guys doing for the rest of the day? And we're like, oh, going downtown.
Probably get some food, hang out, kick it, and get a drink or whatever.
And he's like, okay, well, I can drive you to a station if you want. Like, first of all, girl, you did mistake number 1 was letting him bring you to a second location, okay?
And now we here going to a third. Like we really was playing with fire that day. So we're like, he's like, yeah, the closest station is like a 5-minute drive from here. And we're like, okay. Get in the car again, and he's still like, yeah, so like, how do you guys feel about the establishment? We're like, it's okay. He's like, yeah, I really feel like you guys can you know, spice it up. It's definitely, you could use some improvement. No. Nigga, you know we could have used some improvement. That's why you called us.
The whole improvement it could use is burn it to the ground.
So we're in the car, and we get to the station, and he's like, okay, so you guys are gonna contact me, you guys are gonna let me know, you guys are gonna let me know when you guys are ready to start, like.
Yeah, and we're like, yeah. The man really dropped us off on the side of the road too. He didn't even drop us off in a parking lot or anything. The man really pulled over at the side of the road and was like, okay, so you guys are gonna contact me, alright? He's like, if I don't hear back from you, I'll make sure to get in touch with you with Kira in like about a week or so, and then we can go from there about putting you on the schedule.
God only knows why I told him my real name, you know.
God only knows why we both told them our real names.
Yeah, so now as you guys can see, I am totally snaked here by even getting her involved in the first place.
Wicked situation. The wretched situation. Yeah, so basically we got out of the car, chucked up them deuces, and went on the train and just went about our day. And then a couple weeks later he hit you up?
It was like a month or two later. He sent me an email on some, hey, I tried to call you. I tried to call your cousin, and like I'm getting no responses. Yeah, cause number been changed, boy. And he's like, hey, I just wanted to know, like, are you guys still interested in looking for like a position at our establishment? Like, boy, if you don't get delete. I was really so offended that how could you have the audacity, sir? How could you have the balls?
But yeah, guys, that's the end of Lot's story. Let us know what you think below. Let us know if you have a similar story. Shoot, let us know if you know Tony the damn Tiger. Comment down below. Let us know. Have you been in a situation like this before? Do you know anybody that's been in a situation like this?
Did you run or did you go through with it like we did?
Don't forget to comment, share, like, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to tune in every dimanche.
Sunday, for those of you who don't speak French, okay? For those of you who don't speak the Francais.
Bye, guys! Ah!
She didn't even dance this good, okay?
I don't need to get in y'all broke down hoopty, my nigga. Who could go? Bye.
3 don't want to catch these hands, okay? Cause he would have right in that mouth. You know, poof.
The poof was out. The poof was out.
Poof was out. You know, it was flourishing, real shiny, real moisturated, real hydrated, real moisturized.
Hashtag moisturated.